Now, here's a bloke you would all know, commonly known as Trevor Slow Speed. Trev, how are you?
Good, bud.
Now, I hear that life is just about to become a little bit faster for you. Is that right?
Oh, just a little bit faster, yes.
And
yes.
I'm gonna turn the camera around and come back and show them why. International Harvester. You can tell me the details of it.
1960 AA 150.
And you have been working on this for...
Close to 2 years.
Yeah, I knew it was a long time. Now, we should tell the people, I'll move around here so I get the truck behind you. We should tell the people that you've been posting regularly on Facebook right through the restoration of this truck, and I know you've still got a little way to go, and we'll talk about that down the line. But you did something unusual, and you did it all in black and white.
Yes, I did it. Did it deliberately in black and white.
So no one would know that you were a fan of the colour purple.
No. I wasn't sure whether I was a fan of the colour purple till the very end either.
Well, look, it's probably a divisive colour, I would imagine.
Yes.
Mate, I think it looks bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. Where did you get the colour from?
I actually got it from a vehicle on television from the show Wheeler Dealers in the UK.
Yeah.
They did up a car on there, and I happened to see it on an episode, and I said, that's the colour I want. So from that process, we went to and got a little model, resin model, and I built a little resin bunk for the back of it to make it look all in profile and everything.
Because this didn't have a bunk on it, did it?
No, it didn't have a bunk on it. I bought the bunk separately.
Right.
So then my son, who was into model cars, mixed up some model paints, and the model paints are a real high quality paint with a lot of pearl and stuff in them.
Okay.
And he mixed up the colour, and then he sprayed the little resin model, and we then went out and took the model out into the sun and twisted it around and looked at it from all different angles and said, yes, that's the colour we want. We then took that to the paint shop and said, match it. And when you put the original photo up against the truck, it is very, very close to that original colour.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah.
He's done well. The paint shop and your lad did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it looks pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Now, the paint job has all been done completely in the shed at home. So no spray booth.
All right. No windy days.
No windy days. No, like Melbourne is lately.
Yeah.
So each panel's individually painted, and over about a 6-month period, so it wasn't all painted in one. And I'll tell you what, he's matched the colour pretty well on each individual panel.
So it was your son who did the spray painting?
Yes, my son, Ross.
Okay, is that what he does for a living?
He's a qualified spray painter. He's working as an industrial painter now, and so he doesn't get into the cars much, but he still does spray painting. So yeah, and this was all done.
and then it was, hey son, what's his name?
Ross.
Hey Ross, you owe me for a lifetime of misery bringing you up. it's payback.
Yeah, and when I first showed him the colour that I wanted, he said no. Way. And he said, I ain't painting that in the shed at home. Well, he has.
We'll just walk around while we're talking.
And it's an absolute credit to him and his talent as a painter.
Mate, it's just looking at it, I don't know if it'll come up on camera, but in the flesh, it is spectacular. And we should say to the folks that the reason the bonnet is up for this interview is that there's still a little bit of work to be done on that in terms of the paint, yeah?
Yes, yeah. We had a little bit of a dip in the bodywork on it and a little bit of a ripple, and when you shut the bonnet, it was right at eye height. And my son said, I don't want it to be finished at that, I'll repaint it.
Not good enough.
Not good enough, so we were hoping to have it painted before this, but with Melbourne's weather for the last 2 weeks with the wind, we just didn't get the opportunity to spray it. So she's got a big Band-Aid on it, a big grey Band-Aid on it at the moment. So,
so this is its unveiling.
This is its unveiling,
yes. ATHS at Echuca, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yep.
Yeah.
First event out.
Okay.
So it's, and it's turned some heads. It's been...
I can believe that.
A few comments that either way, as you say, it's a divisive colour. Some like it, some don't. But I reckon 99% of the people have liked it. So it's the true purists that want the original colours, the reds, the greens, the the creams, the blues.
Horses for courses,
Yes,
mate. It's your
but
truck. You
for
do
my
what
truck,
the hell you like
do
with it.
my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Now, motive power.
Motive power, she's got a 281 cubic inch international engine in it. And,
Okay, but
and-
it's not stock standard,
no,
is it?
she's not stock standard.
Well, let's
She's
walk
had
over here and show the people why.
She's had a little update to it. So
Let's. Oh yeah, there's a little hot piece of equipment sitting there.
yeah, yeah. 600 Holy sitting on it. Runs about 8 pound a boost. So yeah, she gets motivated along really well now. It's
So what is your 0 to 100 time?
no, that's not what it was for. It's when you're pulling up a hill and on the old carby, she used to sort of put your foot down and would go nowhere.
Yeah.
And now you put your foot down and at least it increases in speed or maintains the speed. So it's still not tuned properly, still got a lot to do. She's running very rich at the moment. I haven't rejetted it yet and it does need rejetting. It's on the carby, the original carby, she was about 22 litres per 100k. At the moment, this is about 32 litres per 100k. So,
yeah. Some work needs to be done there, Trev.
when you fire it up, you can actually smell the fuel coming out the pipe.
Okay.
So,
Did you drove this up here?
drove it up.
Okay. Now you've got a trailer to go with this?
I have got a trailer to go with it. It's a late 50s new McGrath trailer. So there's not many of them about. It's a strap trailer. We are beaver tailing the back of it, and we will then timber deck it.
Yep.
And do you want me to? Yeah, we'll timber deck it, and then we're hoping it'll come in at about 3.5 tonne tear weight. And then I'll put my 1927 International up on the back of it, which is already restored 10 years ago.
For those
Or 12 years
few
ago.
people who don't know, and
Yeah.
that is a magnificent piece of machinery too, guys.
Yeah, so that will go up on the back, and then eventually I'm doing up a 1918 International, which is timber wheel solid rubber tyre, with the old Renault style bonnet on it with the radiator behind it. And that'll go up on the front, so I'll be able to come to a show with the 3 vehicles. So that's the long-term plan.
So retirement is treating you well, Trev.
Retirement is treating me bloody well, mate. I should have done it years ago.
And I have seen you doing hauling the Hume
Yes.
in the 27.
Yep.
And it has taken you a while to get there. You along with Mr. Apples.
Yes. Yeah,
A race to see who would be last.
Race to see who would get the slowest trophy.
Yeah. So with the next one, and this will be well finished by then, I would imagine.
Yes.
It's going to be Apples all by himself, isn't it?
Oh, no.
As you go past.
Oh, with this on, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I'll be flying past. But if I get the other one out there and on the road, the solid tyre one, she's a 15-mile-an-hour truck. So
I know. I have seen you.
So-
I couldn't slow down enough to take video of you last year.
Yeah, so
Mate, you've done a wonderful job, and I know there's more to come. A little bit about the bunk. Where did you source that?
the bunk I actually got off a bloke
around.
in Geelong,
Yeah.
and it came off he'd had it on a F-150 truck,
Yeah.
and they dropped it right down, so they'd cut up in the inside of it really badly, and I had to redo it all. The bunk has actually been turned around. Because the windows are so small in the truck, you couldn't come through from the truck. So I've turned the bunk around, and you now get in through the back of the bunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking at a photo on Facebook or something the other day, and
Yeah.
I had a query in my head about
Yeah,
whether you had
so
to walk
it's
a crawl
quite-
through or not.
It's quite easy. That's it. Both doors
Oh yeah.
open up.
Hey, now that is actually really cool because, mate, you can lay there, you can open it up, you can enjoy the
Yep.
fresh air.
Yep. It's also got air conditioning up in the top up in here. It's got an
Mate,
electric.
you had air conditioning in a 27.
An electric driven on it, so that I can run this without the truck being run.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got storage up there.
Yeah, I've got storage.
Right,
I've
you've
got
got
radio. I've got charging for the phone.
A comfortable mattress.
When I turned it,
don't put any weight on.
Yeah, exactly. When I turned it around, there was only just cut fiberglass hole in it, so I had to redo all of this, build all of this in with fiberglass.
Right.
And get it so I could put rubbers on it, including manufacturing the doors, which are timber with fiberglass over the outside of them.
Okay.
I've never ever fiberglassed in my life, and it was a treat to finish it, an absolute chore to do it. Would I do it again? Probably not.
Never say never, Trev.
Yeah.
So what's it rated to pull?
It's rated at. Hang on, I'll get back down from here. It's rated at just under 12 tonne, so I don't need to run a logbook. Yeah, so I don't need to run the logbook. Still got to run the club plate book.
Sure.
But no logbook. So, yeah, it's about 11,950 or something like that. So it's just under the 12 tonne.
Good planning, or was
that's
it by design, or?
Well, I looked at that when I got the truck. And,
yep.
Yeah, so that's what it was. So, but she's still on vacuum brakes, so it's set up to run vacuum back to the new fitting, and then I'll run the leads up to on the trailer with vacuum brakes.
Okay.
Step tanks are actually off a white.
Oh yes.
They're a white tank.
Yep.
Got them from a good mate up in Queensland, Cam McFadden. Cam got them for me. We've done a bit of work on them, but.
I remember reading about that. It was quite an exercise in terms of cleaning them out, wasn't it?
Yeah. One of them was really badly rusted, and
you had to put cleaner in and rotate them, and then you put a coating in and you had to rotate that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I actually did it on a cement mixer. Strapped it to a little cement mixer at home and ran it around and around and around for hours, and they've come up pretty good. So far one's connected up properly.
Yep.
The other one I haven't put fuel in yet, but the one on the right-hand side is connected up.
Right. And I gather those windows came from Jayco or
They
similar?
were from a caravan place, yeah. So just trying to get the right size ones. I would have loved to have had them rounded up on top as well, but just couldn't get them.
Nah, they don't exist for caravans.
Yeah,
but hey, it works. And the other point about in terms of reversing that is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 windows.
Yes, I can open them all up and breathe straight through.
It's not claustrophobic.
No, it's not.
And given you're going to go to shows like this, at Echuca, you sleep in the thing.
Yep.
You want to be as comfortable as possible.
So hidden in under here is all the spare bits and pieces, but we've got the battery, which is for the air conditioning. That runs the one in the cab and the one in the bunk.
Yep.
So it's run as a separate battery, but it does charge off the truck when it's running.
Yep.
Also, too, I've got a solar panel that plugs in and can charge that as well. So when I come to a show like this, pull out the solar panel, recharge it up. Got the fridge on the other side in the bunk, so always got cold drinks. So, and so that's that. We had to reverse the hinge on the doors. They were the other way around, of course, when we reversed the bunk.
Yeah.
Spare wheel we've tucked up in underneath. So that's out the way, but at least the spare's on there. The only other option would have been to strap it to the turntable. But it's there and it's out the way.
Tucks in nicely. Okay. Let's have a look at the interior.
So she's twin stick. So she's got a 4-speed gearbox and a 3-speed Joey box. And the Joey going into overdrive drops it at 100k, it drops 800 revs. So she goes from 3,000 revs at 100k in direct to 2,200 revs in overdrive.
Right. So once you get the motor tuned properly, you should get reasonable fuel consumption, shouldn't you?
Reasonable fuel consumption. But the radio and the UHF is actually tucked into the glove box, so they're out the way.
Is that the glove box in the middle there, is it?
Glove box in the middle.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and under dash air conditioner there, which is heater as well in this compartment because it's hooked up to the engine. and it works really well, the heater.
Yeah.
That you go down the road in about 10 minutes, you've got to switch it off because it's too hot. But again,
Have you got power steering in it, or?
No original steering.
No, mate, it'll keep you fit.
Yeah, but it's not too bad. It drives really well. It doesn't wander. It's quite a nice truck to drive. It's dash colour was something again Ross picked. It's got a lot of pearl
Okay, and the
in
inserts on the doors match it.
Yeah, door matches.
I hope this comes up because it looks terrific.
That's the
really
same
does.
colour as what we did the dash in.
Yeah, the fleck in it. That looks really good.
Yeah.
So that insert, that was where did you source that? Or?
That insert is actually from Fleet Parts Australia in Toowoomba.
Okay.
All the door rubbers, gear rubbers, the mat. They're all sourced from Mike up at Fleet Parts.
Right, and what about the seat, mate? Was that reupholstered?
The seat, no, that came in the truck.
We've got a
solar panel on
that's
there,
all right.
of course, but that came with the truck. But I do want to get the seat, not that one. I've got another one at home. I'm going to get reupholstered, and we're going to do it a similar colour to what this is.
To the dash and the door inserts.
Yeah. Yeah, but things like tucking the fire extinguishers in, there's one each side, tucked in under the seat. And that's a must.
You've thought it through, haven't you?
That's a must in old trucks, because when I first registered the 27 and I was on hauling the Hume, we were coming down Razorback, and that truck caught fire. And by the time I stopped, I'd grabbed the fire extinguisher out from under the seat. And at the moment we stopped, opened the bonnet, gave it a squirt with the fire extinguisher, saved the truck.
Yeah.
So anybody who's restoring one of these old trucks, it's a must to put one in.
Yeah, and they're $5.
They're cheap.
But they're cheap as.
Cheap insurance policy.
Anywhere, and even cheaper through LV.
Yeah.
So
things like that, little things like that, still got to be...
You're going to put rubber on the steps just to protect the paint?
We're still undecided on that at the moment. It'll get scratched and it'll get said. We're still debating what we're going to do there. We can always mask it off and do something like what we've done on the tank, where we used the underguard spray, which comes up in a grey colour, and then we painted the black over the top of it to get the shine. So we may think about doing that there, and that'll give it that texture. The non-slip texture.
And it'll probably save you some grief down the line. At the end of the day, you're probably going to have to do it anyway.
It's a small thing. We've thought about strips, we've thought about an aluminium piece on there, we've thought about stainless steel. It's just one of those things we know is going to get scratched. Yeah. And there's
a patchwork quilt that is the bonnet at the moment.
Yeah, the bonnet at the moment. So that's pretty much the only other thing.
The mirrors look brand new.
The mirrors are actually all individual pieces bought and put together.
Right.
So not a cheap exercise.
I'm sure
all stainless steel. The only thing that's not stainless steel is the little L brackets, and they're actually a heated mirror. So same as what you get. They're actually from highway spares.
Jesus, you're plugging people here,
plugging
mate.
People. I
hope they give you a discount next time.
I plug them any time that they can supply stuff, because it's still got to be sign written, still got to be lined and scrolled.
Yes, you mentioned that before. So we'll get some photos of that on the next run that you're at.
So Heath Saunders is going to do the sign writing for me up at Port.
Yep.
It's booked in, and so that's my girl. She's, as my missus calls it, my second love.
Yeah, and because you're retired now.
Yes, I'm retired.
And your marriage is still intact
yes,
because...
it's still intact because I disappear out into the shed for 6 to 8 hours a day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She'll love you forever as long as you don't come in the back door.
Yes. Well, I can't say that because she actually made the curtains in the bunk for me during the week. So... she's had her little touch in it as well, and so...
Mate, it's a wonderful job. I know how long you've been working on this.
Yeah.
I love the way that you put it out there, but in black and white.
Yes.
And it came as a surprise to a lot of people, and I was fortunate enough that you showed me an early photo, so I knew what was coming, and most of the world didn't. It looks great. It's obviously a labour of love.
It is.
And we can't wait to see it at a lot more events.
Yeah, and I'm gonna love waiting to see it with the trailer on behind it. I've hooked the trailer up to it once.
Yeah.
To make sure we had clearance on everything.
Yep.
And the trailer, when it's going to be in the same colour on the coaming rails, I think we'll just set it off completely.
Work to do on a trailer?
Yeah, there's a bit to do on it. Yeah, a bit to do
Like
on that. So
the colour, of course.
yeah, but it's stripped down trailer completely. There's no timber on it or anything. We're adding a beaver tail to the back of it to make it easier for loading and unloading. So there's a little bit of work to that, but I'm hoping for 3 to 4 months only for that one. Where my son works now, they're a sandblasting company and painting company. And they're actually allowing me to use their facility to be able to, with overhead cranes and everything, to be able to turn it over and do the work I need to do on it.
Oh, great. It's the old story, isn't it? It's who you know.
It is. It is.
and you've got to get something back for rearing your kids.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Trev, congratulations, mate. We'll look forward to seeing it when it's totally finished. Look forward to seeing it with the trailer on.
Yeah.
And will that be ready for November or?
No,
So
not at this stage.
It'll be next year.
I'm still waiting.
sometime.
They've got a bit of gear in the shed that they're going to let me use, and I'm just waiting on them to get that
Got to
finished.
wait for
an
empty space to go into.
Yeah, so.
Mate, congratulations. Looks great. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
We'll see you again soon.
All right, thanks, Kurt.
Cheers, mate.
All right, bye, bud.